Alrighty, welcome everybody back to another installment of Fullback Fridays here on the Miller Football channel. If you don't know who I am by now, my name is David. I also go by Miller Football. And before we get into today's video, which is very special, I'm very excited to get into it. I want to say thank you. Over the past week, we have hit 1,000 subscribers, and I could not be more grateful. I could not thank you all enough. This was like my big goal for 2024 was to hit 1K. I wanted to hit it by the end of the year. In November, it started to seem like that was possible. And then we hit it the first week in December, which blew me away. I did not expect to get here this quickly. Shout out to the Tyree Wilson video that kind of pushed us over the hump. But again, I just could not be more grateful. This was like the first big YouTube milestone I wanted to hit, and we've hit it, 2 years into this channel, if that. And it's awesome. It's truly awesome. I'm growing as a creator. I'm growing as a football mind. You all are along for the ride, and I'm very grateful that that's the case. I know I don't always get things right. I know I will have strong opinions that end up being very wrong. Shout out to all the Rams fans who called me crazy, excuse me, for saying that Braden Fisk wasn't going to be good because I've been proven wrong already. But that kind of stuff aside, it's really great to know that so many people have seen my goofy ass pop up. Well, maybe not seen me. I don't do a lot of face cam stuff, but heard my goofy voice pop up on their YouTube recommended and sit down and watch me break down film, ramble about a draft class, watch or play college football 25, whatever it may be. I really cannot stress enough how grateful I am that we're building a community here that's only continuing to grow. And like I said, as we grow, I'm growing as a football mind, as a video maker. It's just a lot of growth. What started as me kind of like trying to put out some longer form content because people were mad that I was making 8-minute long TikToks, and then kind of started to turn into me wanting to have a portfolio for potential future employment, has now turned into like something I'm very, very passionate about. I love making videos here on YouTube, and I'm glad people are tuning into them. But, kind of mushy stuff out of the way. What you're all here to hear me talk about is this, you know, final piece for the Eagles running back room for their run game. Who might that be? Well, if the jersey doesn't tell you, it's Kari Blasingame, the fullback they just signed to their practice squad, formerly of my Chicago Bears. And I know what you're probably thinking, Miller, you're talking about a practice squad fullback. Get out of here. It's great that you hit 1K. Get out of here. Don't talk to me about a practice squad. Listen, hear me out. Kari's incredible, and I'm about to show you why he's incredible. I really think what's going to end up happening is the Eagles sign him to the practice squad now. They're going to give him a couple trial runs. You get so many games where you can elevate a guy to the active roster. And then come playoff time or a little bit before that, I think he's going to get signed to the 53-man, and I think he's going to help the Eagles in their pursuit of another ring. And, I'll probably talk about it more at the end of the video, but I'm very, very hopeful that that will happen and that he will help them win a ring because my boy deserves one. But, it breaks my heart that he's not with my Bears anymore. It sucks that I couldn't make this saying like, man, Bears fans, look at the week Kari just had, because Shane Waldron wouldn't put him on the field this year. Instead, I'm sitting here saying, man, Bears fans, we missed out on a great one. And man, Eagles fans, you guys just got a great one. But anyways, I've been talking enough. Let's go ahead, dive into the tape, talk about my boy Kari Blasingame. I'm going to show you what makes him so special. We're going to take a look at clips over the past 2 years, and hopefully it'll give you an idea as to why I'm so excited that he's going to be blocking for Saquon Barkley. Because, spoiler alert, if he blocks for Saquon this year, and Saquon hits 2K, which is very, very possible, he'll be the first fullback in NFL history to block for 2 separate 2,000-yard rushers, if he gets activated to the active roster. First one in NFL history. Blocked for Derrick Henry, the last 2,000-yard rusher, has a chance to block for Saquon Barkley, the next 2,000-yard rusher, potential next 2,000-yard rusher. So I'm sure, that probably gives you an idea of why I'm so excited. But regardless, I'm rambling enough. Let's dive into the tape, talk about Kari. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. And let's get into it. All right, first block here, we're taking a look at the Bucs game from last year against the Bears. I will say the way this video is going to work is we're going to start with some clips from 2023, then we're going to go to 2022. The reason we're going backwards is because my favorite block that Kari had as a Chicago Bear happened to happen late in 2022, and I want to save that for the end. So definitely stay tuned. You won't want to miss that. And the reason we're not including any clips from this year is because Kari played like 30 snaps for the Bears in the couple weeks he was with the team. Because number one, he got hurt. Number two, Shane Waldron is evil and doesn't like to use fullbacks. So he was primarily on special teams, which sucks. But that's another thing you're getting with Kari. If when he's promoted to the active roster, you're getting a hell of a special teamer, which I know Van Sumeren was for a while in Philly and still is a very solid special teamer. So getting Kari kills two birds with one stone in that regard. But anyways, Kari lined up here as your fullback, a little bit of I form, a little bit of 21 personnel. You see Mercedes Lewis lined up as the lone tight end. And the way this is going to work, get a toss play. Get a combo block, a double team, whatever you want to call it here with Braxton Jones and Cody Whitehair. They do a great job of taking care of the defensive tackle. You get a combo block here that is supposed to result in Chase Claypool getting up to the second level and also chipping Levante David. That way Kari can just play, bodyguard and take care of whoever ends up coming through the path. Probably going to end up being this DB. Just looking at it from here, actually it ends up being 23 is the next guy who comes up. He ends up sliding all the way over. But regardless, point being, that's what's supposed to happen. What actually happens is Claypool ends up tripping, can't get to his mark. So Kari, knowing he's just got to hit the first guy he sees to make sure Roschon doesn't get touched, is now one-on-one with Levante David. That's not an easy assignment. Levante David is one of the best linebackers in football, has been for a long time. Very good and, more importantly, very smart run defender. So you see the two of them both know they got to get low. And Kari, realizing that Levante David is a little bit lower than he is, does a great job of just collapsing on him. He just collapses on Levante David, makes it so he can't get a hand on Roschon, and Roschon bursts through the hole and ends up picking up about 30 here. Now, I will say credit to Chase Claypool because I did shit on him a little bit. He ends up locking onto the DB or the linebacker that ends up coming across here. I believe it's a DB. Ends up lighting him up. So congrats to him for that. Props to him for that. But obviously, we're here to talk about Kari. He takes care of Levante David handedly and allows Roschon to pick up 30. Now, just imagine with me for a minute, right? This is a playoff game. Eagles are playing the Bucks in the first round, right? There's a world where that happens. You run this same exact play. Kari takes care of Levante David. This ends up being like A.J. Brown or Devonta Smith, and they come back and they crack a DB, or crack whoever 23 is here. You get Saquon up to the third level. You got him one-on-one with a DB. He hits a move and makes that guy miss. And then outruns Antoine Winfield on the other side. Breaks that for like a touchdown, right? What would that be? You go from the 30, a 70-yard touchdown. Chills. Literal chills. Because listen, I love Roschon. He's not anywhere near as talented as Saquon. So if he's able to get 30 on a run like this, imagine a world where Saquon gets a run like that. And that's the beauty of having a fullback on your roster right there. All right, a little bit of context before we jump into this. Number one, obviously this is against a new team, playing the Denver Broncos. A lot of these clips are going to be against different teams. This is not to say that over the past 2 years, Kari has like one film breakdown worthy play a game. It's just me trying to cover as many games as possible to show he's doing this more than just a couple games a year. It's literally the opposite. Most of these games I could have picked 5 or 6 plays from, but I'm trying to convey specific things. And then also, if it's not conveying a specific thing, like this play, for example, will be that it's just me trying to show that he did this in week 3 and week 4 and week 5 and week 6 and so on and so on and so on. Number 2, this is going to be a pass pro play. If you're a Bears fan watching this, you probably know that Kari Blasingame wasn't fantastic in pass pro for Chicago, but I don't think that's his fault. The more I watch the tape, the bigger issue seems to lie in the way he was being used as a pass blocker. Kari Blasingame played tailback in college. I don't know about high school, but in college he played tailback. He went undrafted as a tailback, was picked up by the Vikings as a UDFA and converted to fullback. He does not have the, inline experience that a lot of other fullbacks in the league, like a Kyle Juszczyk, do. He played tailback. That's why he's a bit of a different type of fullback. The Bears like to line him up at tight end a lot, especially last year. That is not going to get the best results out of him. As a pass blocker, he is much more comfortable blocking out of the backfield as a back, not as a tight end. That's just because that's what he's done. That's what he's most used to. And this plays a prime example of that. So yeah, when you line Curry up at a position he's not comfortable playing and has very limited experience in, because the Bears might have done it with him, 20, 30 times all year, he didn't get the reps to get, experience with it and get comfortable with it. So, point being, this is going to be a pass per rep that's actually very impressive. And what I'm trying to show to Eagles fans here is you can line Curry up on passing plays, and he's going to be effective. So you've got him lined up here, offset to the left out of pistol, and this is going to be, again, a passing play. So we're going to bring a man in motion. Fields is going to fake this handoff, and they're going to run a bootleg. Now, the objective here is get Cole Kmet open over the middle of the field. Got Fields running the boot, and then you've got Curry here taking on Nick Benito, number 42. Curry does a great job, if we rewind just a tad, of breaking down his feet. He gets low, hits Benito at the waist, legal block, takes him out of the play. Now that opens up a bit of a predicament for 41 right here, because he's got two options. Number one, he can stay where he's at, play coverage here, and guard this crosser to Kmet. If he does that, you have Justin Fields, who can simply reverse upfield and take this for a huge gain, because we all know Justin Fields is a very explosive runner. If he doesn't do that, say he crashes down on Fields, then you've got Cole Kmet breaking open over the middle of the field, but you also have a DB up here. So your hope as this guy is probably, okay, well, if I go down, he'll come down. But then that opens up DJ Moore downfield. This is a very well-designed play. It's executed very well. So what ends up happening is 41 crashes, and as soon as he starts to, Fields is going to let this rip. You see DJ Moore carried two defenders with him here. Got Cole Kmet sitting wide open with a lot of green in front of him. So Fields is going to hit this throw to Kmet. He's going to get upfield. That's another, 20-some yard gain. Watch this one more time just to get an idea. So the ball is placed at about the 40. You get this up to the 20. So yeah, a little over 40 yards, or a little over 20 yards, excuse me, from the 40 to the 20. And it's all set up by this block by Curry. If he misses this block, if he breaks down incorrectly, if he doesn't hit his mark, then 42's running straight at Fields. 41's able to, sit down and hold on Kmet. There's nothing you can do. You got to throw that ball away. Instead, Curry does his job, forces 41 to make a decision, and that decision results in a 20-yard passing play. Something that, like I said, Curry is very capable of helping set up. Just watch it one more time. It doesn't seem like this is too advanced, but the breaking down of the feet, keep him with his man. The most important thing, in my opinion, is hitting the waist. Because, if you go too low, it's a penalty. If you go too high, the guy can bounce off of you. So Curry hits him right where he needs to. And that opens up a wide open throw across the kind of side of the field, but right in front of Justin Fields for the first down. All right, next play here. We're up against the Vikings. And I know I just said Curry isn't great when he's lined up on the line, and that's true as a pass blocker. But as a run blocker, like he's about to be here, he's perfectly fine. He does exactly what he needs to. And in all fairness, this play, he's lined up as more of an H-back and less of a tight end. But regardless, go ahead. This is a toss play. The way this is going to shake out, you got Cole Kmet down blocking Danielle Hunter. You got my boy Darnell Wright going up to the second or third level to take out 24. You got Mooney up on Metellus. And Curry's going to have to take care of number 21 here. If you can get all that going, you've got a good block here. The blocking's doing their job on the backside here. These two go unblocked. Assuming 65 here, Cody Whitehair can get up and take care of this linebacker, and everyone else holds their blocks. Velus should have a massive run. That, unfortunately, does not happen because Darnell Mooney here lined up on Metellus. Not a great matchup. It's not a great matchup. God love Darnell Mooney. He's a great receiver. Not much of a blocker because he is a smaller dude, so you'll see Metellus kind of sheds. But Mooney does do a good job recovering and kind of blocking him downfield, and then Velus is still able to kind of escape upfield, gets chased down from behind, chased to the sideline. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Kari Blasingame, number 35. Like I said, takes care of 21 here. And his job is to drive him to the sideline in a way or out of the play. That's exactly what he's going to do. He gets lower than his man, stands him straight up, and just drives him to the sideline, buries him in the dirt, and then, gets up and watches as Velus gets chased out of bounds. But he does a great job here. I love the physicality, love the aggression. This is a great example of Kari's demeanor as a blocker. Nowadays, a lot of the fullbacks in the league, they're more worried about their technique, which is fine. I'm not saying that is a bad thing. There's just a lot of guys out there who don't really bury dudes anymore. You look at Kyle Juszczyk, you're not getting a lot of plays where he's burying dudes like this. Kari fully taking advantage of it. He does this pretty consistently. It's something we'll see more often. But it's quite unfortunate that this didn't result in a bigger gain because everything was blocked so flawlessly. Even Mooney, like I said, his assignment messes up a little bit, but he still opens up a new hole. Like, that's a really, really clean hole for Velus Jones to get through. I guess you can more blame Cody Whitehair for not being able to block the linebacker here. But regardless, Kari does his job, buries a dude on the sideline. That's what we're here to care about. Just a hell of a job by Kari. And again, we're going to see more of that intensity and that desire to bury dudes throughout this video. All right, moving on to the Raiders game. We got 2 clips from this game. Kari lined up here as your fullback in the eye. Going to be a toss play to Darrington Evans. So we'll go ahead, let this play out. So the way the blocking's playing out here, right? DJ Moore is taking care of 96, which is insane. The blocking here is good. The only thing Kari's got to worry about is 23 over here. If Kari can get around and drive him to the sideline, drive him out, then Evans has a nice lane here in an ideal world to slip between Kari and DJ Moore. Unfortunately, this lane ends up being a little bit further over than you'd like because DJ Moore is a wide receiver blocking who I assume is a defensive tackle. You know what? We're going to find out right now. Raiders 2023, number 96. This does not give me... There, here we go. 2023 Las Vegas Raiders season. Scroll down to the roster. Practice squad. Marquand McCall. I won't lie. This is the second time I've recorded this bit, so we already looked at him. But the point still remains. 6'3", 345 pounds. It's a full defensive tackle, now wearing number 52. It's a full-size defensive... Former Bear, apparently. Ironic. Why is DJ Moore blocking him one-on-one? Why is that the assignment? Why would that ever be the assignment? Regardless, taking a look at Kari here, once again, he gets low, and what I like about this play is he attacks the inside shoulder of the DB, which is going to allow Kari to kick him out, and that'll open up the lane for Evans, which Kari still does do. And DJ does his damnedest to keep a lane open. You know, you get a lane open. Kari, you see here, has completely taken Buddy Boy out at this point. Just unfortunate that Darrington gets chased to the sideline when this play should have been further inside. Because, again, why is DJ Moore blocking a 345-pound defensive tackle? I know this is supposed to be like a Eagles fans, you got one type thing, but, hopefully some Bears fans find this as well. I know a lot of Bears fans are sub to me. And it's like, why did Getsy ever think this was a good idea? Why would you ever have a 6-foot-tall receiver down block on a 345-pound defensive tackle? Why? And it's one of them, key blocks on the play. It's not like DJ's lined up over here and it's on the backside of the play. This is a key block. You are expecting him and your fullback to open up a hole for the tailback. And credit to DJ, man. He holds his ground way better than he should. He gets driven backwards. But when it counts, he lets helps Darrington get by him. He ends up flipping 96. Like good for DJ, but he should never be in that situation. No, looking at this. Where's Cole Kmet? You got Mercedes Lewis lined up at tight end here. Where's Cole Kmet? Why is this not Cole Kmet? Why is it not him? I don't know. Maybe, did he miss the Raiders game? Oh my God. I got to look this up now too. I apologize for being sidetracked, but like, I know the Bears won. So in the grand scheme of things, this doesn't matter. But yeah, apparently he didn't play, which is something. But the Bears had other tight ends. They had other players. That doesn't have to be DJ. Oh man. I do not miss Luke Getsy. I do not. This is an over 4-minute clip to talk about a fairly simple block just because of my ramblings. To Eagles fans out there, I apologize. But this is what happens when you're a Bears fan, man. You got to deal with stuff like that. But regardless, Kari does a good job. Again, hits the inside shoulder, drives his man pretty much out of bounds. And I know Kari ends up getting tossed at the end of the play, which happens. Both guys end up on their asses, though. So, can't say that's a bad thing for 35. All right, second and final play from the Raiders game here. We've got Kari once again lined up as the lead blocker in the eye. We're going to do another toss play, and I'm not going to go on the ran again. But they're doing it again. DJ Moore having to down block on a 345-pound defensive lineman. And lo and behold, it kind of works. But regardless, Kari, who we're here to focus on, once again, one-on-one with 23 here. If he can open that up, then Darrington's got a lot of green grass in front of him. So Kari's going to do a good job of chasing him to the sideline. You see from that last block, 23 hesitates a little bit. He's like, get the fuck out of here. Go away. Get. But Kari's persistent. He chases him to the sideline. And 23 going to get lit up. This time gets buried on the sideline. Kari looks down at him like, what now? You know, I own you. Fucking lays him out there. Does a great job of channeling the guy's momentum, trying to run away from him, pushes him into the ground. And then unfortunately, Darrington gets run down before he can make this into a big play. Because by all accounts, this had the potential to be a huge play if someone could have gotten upfield and taken care of 25. Not sure whose assignment that would be on this play. But I guess it wouldn't be anybody's assignment. The idea would be you want Darrington to get upfield and hopefully make him miss, which he tries to do. You know, he hits him with like the little spin. But regardless, just a really, really solid block by Kari, kicking his man out. Allows Darrington to pick up an extra 6 yards or so there. And again, this is one of those ones that I just wanted to include because it shows again how stupid Luke Getsy is. And also, you know, shows the nature of Kari, how aggressive he is. Which, real quick, I just want to say one more thing on this. The Raiders hired Luke Getsy to be their offensive coordinator this year. How on earth do you see this assignment multiple times in a game and go, yeah, that's the one. That's the one. That's our offensive genius for next year. I can't, man. It's insanity. But either way, again, props to Kari. Carries his man, drives him out of bounds, stares him down on the sideline, and ends up going for over 10. All right, this is a quick pass pro rep. We've got Kari lined up as the lone back in shotgun here. And like I said, this is what he played in college. This is something he's used to, unlike playing tight end. So you see the Chargers are showing blitz. They don't. Kari ends up headed to the middle to fill this gap where the linebacker looked like he was going to come downhill. And he's on a check and release route. So basically, he's got to chip in on a block and then go downfield. So he does a good job there assisting against the interior lineman, number 56. I believe it's Morgan Fox. And that ends up putting him back in position to be blocked by Lucas Patrick. And then Kari also ends up getting thrown into 45, which puts him back in position to be blocked by Cody Whitehair. And then Bajan's going to be able to float this one over to DJ Moore for a pretty big gain, at least 15 there. So just a good job by Kari. Again, chipping, doing exactly what he needs to here. You chip 56, get him back into range of the center. Because of where you're standing, you chip 45 as well, get him back into the range of the guard. And that opens up a huge pass from the backup quarterback there. Just watch that one more time, doing exactly what he needs to. That's what you want to see out of a running back in pass pro. Is it the prettiest thing in the world? No. And, one could argue the block on 45 isn't even inherently intentional. But the block on 56 is really the appeal here to me. Just being able to chip him before you go out for your route and reset your center, who God knows Lucas Patrick needed it. So good work there. Again, Kari can be an efficient pass blocker if you play him out of the backfield. Just don't expect a whole lot if you're playing him at tight end as a pass blocker. All right, this play right here is a little bit special to me, and you'll see why after we kind of let it run. But right here, it's going to be play action. You're going to fake to the left side of the screen, and then Bajan's going to run a boot to the right. Kari and the back here, Darrington Evans, are going to fake to the left side of the screen, and then Kari is going to cut back across the line and pick up the blitzing safety here in Marcus May. So you see Kari shifts out, heads across, lines up May, gets into him, takes him out of the play. That allows Bajan to set up under pressure, let this one rip, throws it up to my favorite player in the NFL, Mr. Cole Kmet, for the best play of 85's career. And the reason this play is so special is because if you watch my channel at all, you know my outro is a certain catch by Cole Kmet where they're talking about an ill-advised throw that leads to an unbelievable catch against the New Orleans Saints. This play right here, and I didn't even realize it until I went back and watched the tape for the first time, a couple weeks ago. This play right here is my outro for all of my YouTube videos, and it would not be possible if Kari Blasingame wasn't here to pick up Marcus May. If he wasn't here to do his job flawlessly against the blitzing edge defender, or the blitzing safety, to set up Bajan, to let this one rip across the field, 285 for an insane catch over Tyrann Mathieu. Just crazy. This right here, this is my equivalent of that invisible string theory they talk about, where everyone's connected in some way. One of my favorite plays I've witnessed in my lifetime just so happened to have 35 cutting across and setting a key block. The fact that I didn't realize this in real time just shows how much I love Cole Kmet, because I did not care about anything other than that catch at the end. But man, hell of a block, hell of a job. Marcus May doesn't have a chance in hell, and it leads to one of my favorite plays in NFL history. And then, of course, it cuts off, but there's Cole Kmet going for his home run touchdown celebration. And again, as I said, that wouldn't have been possible if 35 didn't do a hell of a job here in pass pro. Man, I know we're talking about Kari, but what a fucking catch, man. All right, we've seen Kari in pass pro. We've seen him out in space. How about in close quarters, right? Between the tackles, how's Kari as a blocker? Well, we'll find out on this play against the Detroit Lions. We're going to bring a tight end in motion. Go ahead and make an adjustment there. Fields is going to snap this ball. And Kari's objective is just to take care of Alex Anzalone here. 67 gets up to the second level. If that happens, Khalil Herbert's going to have a nice lane to run on through. So Kari's going to do a good job. He gets lower, hits the inside shoulder to turn his man outside. And that opens up a big lane for Khalil Herbert to run through. Get you from what? The 8 up towards the 20. Huge pickup in your own territory, deep in your own territory. And Blasingame sets a beautiful block to allow Herbert to get upfield. Just watch that one more time. Very, very good close quarters block. This clip is very long. I don't know why I didn't start it, a little bit later in the play. But regardless, Kari again does a great job. Hits the inside shoulder. Turns Anzalone, who's a hell of a linebacker, and sets up a very, very nice run in a very, very important situation. All right, I'm going to keep this one relatively brief because it's not a crazy run. It goes for 4 yards. You got Kari lined up as your fullback in the eye. Little 21 personnel. You got 1, 2 backs, 1 tight end over here. The appeal of this play for me is who Kari blocks and how he does it. That is going to be Kirby Joseph. What do we know about Kirby Joseph? Well, he's a good safety, by all means. Pretty solid in coverage, good downhill. He's a good player, but he plays dirty. Point blank period. We know Kirby Joseph does not play nice. You look at the hits he's had on guys like Tyler Higbee and TJ Hawkinson, most recently against Tucker Kraft the other night. Doesn't exactly play clean. So Kari's not going to play nice either on this play. Get a little bit of a toss here. Everyone's lined up. Now, the reason this ends up being not a huge run, spoiler alert, is this block right here. Fortunately, Derek Barnes ends up slipping my boy Darnell right, but we're worried about Kari. So Kari's got to take care of Kirby Joseph, get him to the outside, send him to the sideline. That is exactly what Kari's going to do. You see, he gets low, makes that. He doesn't make the initial contact. Let me rephrase that. Joseph makes the initial contact, but Kari gets low and hits him, drives him back a little bit. Joseph pushes off. So Kari, not wanting him to get to the running back, locks on and lays Joseph the fuck out. And you see that little moment right about here of Kari staring him down, giving him the sit the fuck down, bitch. Just a fun play. Again, the run goes for like 4 yards, and Kari's block admittedly isn't the most important thing in the world, but the salty Bears fan in me loves to see a guy like Kirby Joseph get laid the fuck down, because he needs it, man. He needs to be humbled. So again, I was talking about a hypothetical earlier. Imagine the Eagles are playing the Lions in the playoffs, NFC Championship game. Kirby Joseph's coming up. He's thinking, I'm going to hit Saquon right in the knee. Going to make this game a hell of a lot easier. And 48 just comes in and lays him out, rips him a new one. Next time he'll think twice about trying to get to Saquon, trying to play dirty. So good play there by Kari. That's like an enforcer type play, and can't hurt to have a guy like that on the team, obviously. All right, so now we're jumping to 2022, playing the 49ers, first week of the season. Kari's first game as a Chicago Bear. We've got him lined up here as a tight end, and this is going to be a pass pro rep. No, you're thinking, Miller, you said Kari wasn't good as a pass blocker, as a tight end. You're right. I did. But this is an exception, because this is a hell of a block. So you're going to see right here, Field snaps this ball. Kari's one-on-one with Nick Bosa. One-on-one with Nick Bosa in the big 2022. So Kari's going to fire off, latch on. You see Bosa's eyes are in the backfield. He's trying to watch this handoff here. And once he realizes it's play action, Kari does a good job of walling off Bosa, because this is going to be a bootleg. Fields is running to the outside. So if he walls off Bosa, then Bosa, all of a sudden, once Fields gets by Kari, has a hell of a lot more work out of him, right? So Bosa tries to spin. Kari stays with him, stays in front of him, runs with him, and then Fields ends up pump faking to get 51 to bite down, floats it over his head, ends up being a completed pass on the sideline. And none of that is possible if Kari Blasingame doesn't go toe to toe, stride for stride, with arguably the best edge rusher in football at that point. Maybe that's being a little zealous, but hey, I got an agenda to push. At least one of the 3 to 5 best pass rushers in football at that point. Just a really good play there. Also, if I'm not mistaken, 51. Yeah, Azeez Al-Shaair. Known dirty player. Another dirty player, Azeez Al-Shaair. Back-to-back plays of the Bears making dirty players look silly. But yeah, just a really good block here by Kari one more time. Full speed. Keeps a good wide base the entire time. Stays lower than Bosa because he is naturally shorter. Does a hell of a job keeping up with him and letting Fields get this one off. All right, here we've got Kari pulling across the line. It'll be a motion snap against the Green Bay Packers. Go ahead, snap this ball. Kari is one-on-one with Preston Smith. Very good run defender. Someone that's pretty hard to block one-on-one. So Kari engages with him. David Montgomery is going to press the line, then jump to the outside. As he makes that cut, Kari readjusts himself to wall off the defender. I always preach, you want to go back to the back. Kari is facing away from David Montgomery. and that is going to allow Monty to get up to the second level. Kari washes him down a little bit, down the formation, keeps him out of the play. That allows Monty to get the ball inside the 5 there. Just a nice block, nothing too flashy. Really like resetting himself to get in an easier situation. He gets himself low, which enables him to have the leverage on the play. And that completely walls off David Montgomery so that Preston Smith can't get in the backfield. Same game, a little bit later on. Kari lined up as the fullback out of the eye. Let this ball get snapped. Can be a toss play. Kari's got to take on 53 here, and he's going to open up a lane for David Montgomery. So Kari's going to do a good job of keeping his eyes on 53. 53 tries to attack Kari's outside shoulder. That is going to allow Kari to get low. So he catches the arms, keeps him out of the play, and David Montgomery is able to pick up a solid gain there. Again, it's not for Kari. If he whiffs up on this block, if he doesn't go back to David Montgomery, and this is probably killed in the backfield, but it's not. Instead, down in your own territory, starting at, where's that ball at? Starting at about the 10, you get this ball upfield, closer to the 20, across the 20, because David Montgomery's a goddamn workhorse. But regardless, good block there. Nothing super flashy. Just doing exactly what he needs to do against a division rival. All right, I included this one because this is something we have seen the Eagles do with Ben Van Sumeren, and that is the counter, cut outside, cut back across, pick up the edge defender type of block. You'll see what I mean. So you see Kari, he motions out at the last second. Snap this, ends up being a counter run. And Kari's got to take out 49 here, got to take out the edge. He does, Herbert can explode through this hole. That is exactly what Kari's going to do. If we rewind it a little bit so you can get it full speed, he hits the edge defender directly in the waist, legal hit, drops him, and that opens up that hole for Herbert. Fortunately, some of the blocking upfield isn't so great. And, that results in like a 6-yard run. But I bring this up because I know I have seen the Eagles do something at least very similar with Ben Van Sumeren a few times. And this is just to show you, like, hey, Kari can do it too. He's more than capable. So again, you hit the guy in the waist, open up for your running back. Yeah, if 49's there at the end of the play, whatever. He couldn't impact the run in any meaningful way. And that is what matters at the end of the day on this play. All right, so I've talked about Kari's kind of intensity, and this is a great show of that. Lined up as the fullback out of the eye. We're going to watch this from both angles. You'll see once this ball is handed off, his job is to take care of 21 here. That's a DB. The best thing you can do as a fullback when blocking a DB is make him regret ever stepping upfield. We've seen him do it a couple times. He did it with 23 on the Raiders. He did it with Kirby Joseph. He's about to do it here with 21 on the Patriots as well. So you see he's going to hit the shoulder. That opens up Montgomery to cut upfield. He gets in the end zone. That's a touchdown. Kari is not paying attention to the touchdown. Once again, he's right there because I know from this angle he looks a little small. He pushes and pushes and pushes until he is laid down on top of the defender. We'll watch it here from this angle. It's Adrian Phillips is who he ends up blocking. Once again, from a technical standpoint, does a great job. You want to turn your guy out away from your back. You hit the inside shoulder. That opens up Montgomery to have a lane to cut upfield and score. Kari is not interested in the score. He wants to bury 21, which is what he does. Just a wonderfully executed block. Everything about this is beautiful. Again, make 21 regret ever stepping upfield. You have him lined up off the edge here. Make him regret taking those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps upfield. And ensure that he doesn't do it for the rest of the damn game because he knows 35 is going to be waiting for him. All right, second to last play here, and I figured who better to show Kari blocking than the Eagles, right? Now, you've got a lot of guys who are no longer on this defense. TJ Edwards, that's a Bear. Kaiser White, that's a Cardinal. Hassan Reddick, that's a Jet. The defense has changed a little bit, but it's still the Eagles. So Kari's going to do a good job here. He's got to take care of Hassan Reddick. He's got that one-on-one matchup. So Kari stands him straight up before the ball's even handed off. And David Montgomery is able to get skinny, slip on through, get upfield, and get in for the score. See, Kari is more excited than anybody for this touchdown. We highlight him up here, arms up, celebrating, excited. Now imagine him doing this for Saquon. You know? Just picking up the edge, letting Saquon stroll on into the end zone. Good blocks downfield. Wowza. Just a great job there, standing Reddick straight up. He has no chance to make a play on this ball whatsoever. Has no chance to make a play on Montgomery whatsoever. That's a hell of a block. One of the more important blocks on the play. Because if he misses this, then Montgomery's not even getting out of the end zone. But he doesn't. He makes the block. Monty's able to stroll into the end zone for the touchdown. And like I said, there is no one more excited on this play than Kari Blasingame. And I'm very, very excited to see him eventually, I tried to say eventually and inevitably at the same time. I am very excited to see him inevitably, eventually block for Saquon Barkley and have this kind of reaction when Saquon breaks off like a 60-yarder, because why not? And finally, the last block that we're going to take a look at in this video, the play that is going to get the coveted Miller Football Fullback Friday block of the week stamp, is this block right here against the Minnesota Vikings, where Kari Blasingame is going to take care of not one, not two, but three separate defenders on this play. He's going to keep three defenders at bay away from the back on what ends up being a 40-plus yard touchdown. One of the better blocks I've seen out of a fullback since I've started watching fullback film over the past couple years. Just an incredible play. So we'll go ahead, let this play out. You fake the pitch to Montgomery, you hand the ball to Velus Jones. Forgot to mention you got Kari lined up here as a bit of an H-back, little 12 personnel with your two tight ends, Cole Kmet lined up there in the slot. So you go ahead, toss this to Velus. Kari's first assignment is Danielle Hunter, someone I've made a video about very recently. Very, very good edge defender. Kari is going to stick his arm out and keep Danielle at bay. Danielle Hunter officially can no longer make a play on this ball. From this angle, it'd be very, very difficult. So then you've got 24 to take care of. That's Kari's second assignment. He's going to do a great job of getting low and crashing on 24. And he is going to run 24 into 20. That is taking care of two separate DBs. You see Kari hits 20, knocks him over, keeps 24 at bay. You see 24 is trying to get to Velus. There's a white hand right in there that is keeping him from getting to Velus Jones. Kari knocks 24 out of bounds. Velus Jones is able to get skinny. Really good job by him not stepping out of bounds. And he slips upfield for the touchdown. But again, one block, two blocks, and three blocks. Three different defenders that are unable to make a play on the ball carrier because Kari Blasingame is simply built different. This guy is a monster. I could not be more angry that my Chicago Bears let him go because our idiotic offensive coordinator, who got fired mid-season, by the way. You don't know, the Bears don't fire coaches mid-season. We had to fire two of them this year. He gets fired mid-season, all because they wanted to put a center at fullback that has no idea what he's doing. Instead of having this beast who has the intensity, the strength, the technique, the vision, the quickness, the straight-up speed to be a game changer, instead of having that, they want to put a fullback, or they want to put a center in at fullback on the goal line. Idiotic behavior. The Eagles got a steal in Blasingame. The fact that he was on the open market blows my mind. The fact that it took him so long to get signed blew my mind initially, but then I realized he was probably waiting out to see a contender get have a need at fullback. And as much as I love Ben Van Sumeren, it worked out very, very well for Blasingame that the Eagles just so happened to need a fullback. Not saying that Van Sumeren getting hurt is good. You get the point. Opportunities are opportunities. And Blasingham's getting a hell of a one with Philly. That wasn't English. A hell of a one. A hell of an opportunity is a better way to put it. I've been rambling for almost 4 minutes now. Just a fantastic block. There's a reason why it's block of the week. I get so excited about Kari Blassingham, I forget how to talk sometimes. He's a monster. And I'm excited to see what he inevitably does with the Eagles. And I hope to see him blocking for Saquon in the goddamn Super Bowl this year. But anyways, folks, that is going to do it for this installment of Fullback Friday. I hope you all enjoyed. I'm sorry it came out on a Saturday, but, you know, schedules and whatnot. I'm trying to get better with that. Hopefully we'll be back to normal uploads this week. I already have a couple things pre-recorded, so it'll be a little bit easier. But regardless, I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to leave a like down below, as it does help out the channel a ton. Shows your support, shows you care, and I really do appreciate it. Also, make sure to subscribe for more weekly fullback content and other weekly film breakdowns. Like I said at the start of the video, thank you all so much for 1,000 subs. It means the world to me. I really appreciate it. And hopefully we can continue growing from here, continue growing a community that is willing to listen to my goofy ass ramble and rant for whatever reason. And also make sure to let me know down in the comments below. Do you think this video is pointless? Do you think Kari Blassingham is never going to get elevated off the practice squad and he's going to do nothing for the Eagles at all? Or do you think he's going to end up eventually getting signed to the active roster and making a big impact? I obviously lean towards the latter, as I wouldn't have made this video if I did not. I think what's going to happen is you're going to get a couple games where he's going to be used as like a last minute elevation off the practice squad. And then I think inevitably they're going to see how good he is and give him a real contract, sign him to the 53-man roster. And they're going to be able to utilize him while riding Saquon all the way to the big game. If that ends up happening, I'm going to be rooting like hell for the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Just want to make that clear. I really hope that ends up being the case, because seeing my boy get a ring would be awesome. I love Kari. He's one of my favorite players I've ever watched. And, it really does suck knowing that he doesn't suit up for my Bears anymore. But I'm glad that he went from a dysfunctional organization to a winning one, because he freaking deserves it, man. After sitting with the Bears for, a couple years and not winning anything with the Titans, he deserved to go to an organization that actually has a shot at something. And I'm very glad it was Philly, because Philly is an entertaining ball team to watch. Love the defense. Love Vic Fangio. Love a lot of the guys on the defense. Obviously, I made a Milton Williams video this week. Love guys like Zach Bond. Just a very, very good football team. So, rambling aside, I really do hope you all enjoyed this video. And again, I can't thank you all enough for 1,000 subs. I know I keep saying it, but I really can't thank you all enough. And to everyone out there watching, I hope you all have a wonderful day, evening, night, afternoon, whatever time of day it is for you. I hope you enjoy it, because you're all wonderful people and you truly do deserve it.
Had a chance on the throwback. This was an ill-advised throw. What an unbelievable catch by Cole Kmet. And he cups it too. No movement when he hits the ground, tucked up against his shoulder. Wow. Using that